You're now listening to Hispanics Causing Panic, baby. Let's do this.
But right now, Hispanics are causing black. Right now, Hispanics are causing panic. See how it goes? Hispanics are causing panic.
What's going on, everybody? D-Style Boxing here. And this is the HCP Boxing Network. HCP episode 94. The podcast is back on, Nancy. Nancy's back, by the way. You know what I mean? Guess who's back?
Nancy's back. I know. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. And I missed being here. And sorry I'm all on Avatar, y'all. It's Tuesday mommy duties, but it's all good. I know. Donde ando?
Yeah, people are like, that's not Nancy. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it unless I see it. It's not her. He started recording her voice and he's playing.
You know, that's how rumors start. And yep. But no, it's so nice. It's so nice to be back. You know, it starts to get a little busy around this time. But I'm ready to talk boxing.
I'm ready to talk some boxing. And let me also say this, man. We have a great audio audience out there, okay? The HCP Boxing Network, Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeart. Make sure, man, HCP Network on your favorite podcast form. You can always contact me if you're looking for it and all that good stuff. So with that said, we have a great show from the good, the bad, the ugly. We have some guests that will be coming on, of course. Josh Taylor, okay? It's going to be fighting Catterall this weekend. What's next for him? Crawford, saying that the UK is top-notch and number one of all the boxing fans. This is what he said. That's it. But I don't know about that one, okay? But all right, but this is what I'll say. The Jermell, of course, accusing Castano of some shady business. He's saying, I don't buy the injuries. Something else is going on. You know what I mean? And of course, Crawford wants the winner of that fight, by the way. Tim Tszyu wanted to step in to fight him. We'll talk about all those things. Whyte Fury is quite really that dangerous. And of course, this is the 2-year anniversary of the beatdown Tyson Fury gave Deontay Wilder in their rematch. That was a hell of a beatdown. A shout out to the chat. Round 1, SSC. Lennox was best. A boxing historian, Stephen. Shout out to you guys, man. And hit that like button. Let's go ahead and get this started. And we're going to be joined, of course, by the one and the only Dave from the 408 from the Shoe Shine. Catch show every Monday.
What's good, these guys? Hola, Nancy.
There you go.
So excited to have Dave on.
Oh, thank you. Gracias.
You know it's going to be a party.
Oh, you better believe it. It's National Margarita Day, guys. And Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, but I'm not drinking no margarita, though. Let me see this.
What?
I'm. You know what? New declaration, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to sign it with a Sharpie. This is Chelada Day, okay? That's right. Modelo, because they didn't have the sold one.
I will tell you that I thought of you. I tried one, and you know what? It's on point. I like it.
There you go. Why would I like everything I do is on point? You know what I mean? I'm not gonna see people the wrong way. Not some hardcore shit right there.
Mira nomás,
I'm gonna have a shot. This one goes to Maestro. This one's Maestro Dobel, one of my favorite Blanco tequilas. So I'm gonna do a shot in celebration of National Margarita Day.
What you know, all the partying happens when I can't be on. I'm on. but not on, you know? So I will just say my favorite tequila is Corralejo, just because we're talking liquors. So Corralejo is one of my favorite
What about
ones.
Los Altos tequila? I like that one. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, a lot of people got to expand their tequila game. But like
They
I'm telling,
do.
we're to the good, the bad, and the ugly. By the time we get to the ugly, like it'll be Dave. If he keeps taking those shots of tequila, you know what I mean? By the way, have any of you ever played a shot? A game of shots. Take a shot every time Sergio Mora says that was a check left hook.
You know what? Oh my gosh, we're getting ideas here. We need to
That
have.
was a check hook.
You'll be más
We need.
pedo. By the
Yeah.
time the zone broadcast is over, you'll be on the floor.
Or how about every time? What about every time that Leo does the twitch of the wrist?
Oh, that's a good
Oh
one too.
my God, you'll die of like alcohol poisoning.
You have alcohol poisoning.
Hey, Leo, I wonder when you throw the jab. But
anyway.
Yo, before anything. Well, it might be the good of the I don't know. So let's do the good, the bad, and the ugly chat. The chat needs to let us know what the good, the bad, and the ugly is as well. You know what I'm saying? We have Haplotap in the building, Nopal in the building, SSC, of course, in the building. By the way, SSC on his Instagram put up his Muhammad Ali poster, his Canelo poster that you want here on HCP.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, that's looking great, bro. That's some great stuff right there. And of course, Doomy, shared it as well on his Instagram. He only won one, okay, because Killian was so giving. You know what I mean? Shout out to Killian.
Killian was amazing. Like he didn't have to do that, and he was just being awesome. And went ahead and said, you know what? Oh, totally. And so SSC, I'm going to have to check it out because I haven't seen your post where you posted that. But how on earth? I hope you win and played the lottery and won at least $2 because that was like some luck right there. So that's awesome.
SSC stands for Soy Seguro Cabronazo. But it goes, it goes with the theme of HCP, but anyway, let's go ahead and get started. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to start with just the good first. Dave, since you're the guest, let us know what is the good of the boxing weekend, chat. Let me know what's the good of the weekend.
The good of the boxing weekend this week is Kell Brook's story, because at the age of 35 years old, not only does he prove that he still belongs in there with possibly the top opposition at welterweight, but he's got people like young domestic stars like Conor Benn calling him out, wanting a big fight that could do domestically in the UK. That fight is a super fight, right? And he's also got people all the way as high as Chris Eubanks. Chris Eubanks is crazy right now. He's calling to fight all these smaller fighters. He wants him to come up back up to 160 and thinks that he can put on a Gennady Golovkin type opponent against a much smaller Kell Brook. The only risk on this is that, Kell Brook is in danger quickly of becoming a gatekeeper. So what Kell Brook chooses to do, he's going to have to think about very carefully, but absolutely, he could find himself in a very big, high payday with a large gate and a UK audience.
All right. And Nancy, talk to us. What was the good of the boxing weekend?
I think the good was that we have a solidified Fury fight now. And I am going to add that to some of my previous good, which is I'm liking how these fighters and these boxers are just, taking action, are quick to shut down the rumors, the chisme that we've been hearing. But even more importantly, they shut it down by just getting it done. And this was like a great example of that. I keep saying so far, so good in 2022. We're seeing, more action, how does it go? Little less talk and a lot more action.
There you go.
That's my cue to you, Eric, where you start singing.
It can be whatever you want it to be. You know what I mean? If you want it to be less action, more action, whatever it is.
Yep.
Less talk, more action. There you go.
There. And I think that was for me the good. I'm liking what I'm seeing, but I'm okay with Fury, Whyte, and I think that's something that most fans are actually okay with as well. So that's the good.
Okay. Well, there you go. Look, to me, I agree 100% with you. The good of the weekend is that Dillian Whyte finally signed on the dotted line, and by the way,
signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours.
There you go. You know what I mean? But here's the big thing. All right, Did you guys know? Like, I'm sure you know this, but it still astonishes me. It is the highest purse bid in boxing history. Like a Dillian Whyte fight. That is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to believe. Like you got to, like, so, it's not the highest purse ever, nothing like that, but a fight that went to purse bids, the highest ever. That is amazing.
And you know, I'm actually okay with that. Can I tell you why? Because, and I'll probably get a lot of tomatoes or arguments on this. I kind of felt for a while, that Whyte was a bit of the bridesmaid. Yeah. You'll throw yeah, that I'll take. And you can throw shots at me too.
Catch it. Thanks.
I kind of felt like Whyte was the bridesmaid and not the bride for some time and in many occasions. I think that's why I'm not angry at this matchup. And you know what? If it is a record-setting purse, then you know that's good too. I didn't know that, so thanks for sharing.
Hey, I'm just saying. I hear you. I hear you. So now let's go to the bad of the weekend. Nancy, I'm going to start with you. What is the bad of the boxing weekend? Talk to us.
So the bad for me, I have two, but I have to go with one. It is going to be Khan's loss. It really is. I know I've always actually been a Brooke fan as well. Like, it's not like I hate one more than the other. I like Khan. I got to sing happy birthday to the guy, you know, le hice pastel y todo. But man, I was hoping I was going to see more. And that was just, wow. I mean, how he made it past that, you know, first round and then past the third round. That was rough. That was rough to see. So that was my bad.
Okay. All right. Dave, what is the bad of the weekend, brother?
The bad of the weekend is Oscar De La Hoya's mismanagement of Jaime Munguia's career at middleweight. He has been dragging him around. He finally admits this week to Marcos Villegas quickly that he's deliberately taking Jaime Munguia's career, you know, very slowly at 160 pounds. When we all know that he's been the mandatory already, he could have secured a fight against Bubu Andrade. He could have secured a fight against Gennady Golovkin. Now, all of a sudden this week, Oscar says that I think I saw enough this weekend against Ballard. Seriously, you saw something great this weekend against Ballard that says he's ready? And now that he finds himself ready, unfortunately, the news comes out this week that the WBO is going to force Jaime Munguia to fight this guy that everyone seems to be avoiding in Janabek for an interim title. Not the actual title, but a WBO interim title. Uh-oh. And he's got how many days to make this fight happen? That's a huge step back. He had an opportunity to make this fight with Bubu Andrade, a very tough fight, I'm going to say. Stylistically, very difficult fight. But also he should have been calling out Gennady Golovkin. Just last week, Oscar De La Hoya, just about on February 20th, Oscar De La Hoya says that Jaime Munguia versus Gennady Golovkin will be the biggest fight of 2022. But how's that going to work when Eddie Hearn's trying to secure Gennady Golovkin versus Saul Canelo Alvarez part 3? That's the bad of the week.
Mm-hmm. And which one? And that's an excellent point. And then, you know, a further question there is, which one do we know has a better shot at actually getting done? Right?
I'm waiting to hear, like everybody else is waiting to hear what's going to happen with Canelo Alvarez's 2-fight deal, whether he goes with PBC or DAZN makes it happen. Gennady Golovkin isn't saying much. You know, he's part of the equation if he signs off to fight Canelo Alvarez, and at what weight class?
Look, to me, the bad of the weekend was that Khan Brook undercard. I mean, talk about underwhelming, talk about nothing for such a great atmosphere. I mean, that's a great opportunity to push future talent, young prospects, and it was just a waste of time. And I just wanted to put that out there. That was the bad to me. All right. Now let's start with the ugly. The ugly of the weekend, all right, it's probably the ugliest of the year so far, is Amir Khan's chin. Okay. That chin, Jesus Christ, bro. Like, I'm just a wind blows by it. The dude's like wobbly legs and stuff. I still don't know how he made the distance against Marcos Maidana, to be honest with you. I don't know how he did that, but he did. Shout out to him. But Cal Brook landed square on that chin, and he couldn't recover. He has some of the worst recovery time of any top fighters I've seen in a long time, right? And all I got to say is this to all the people that for years have been saying, oh, he was the guy. Khan was the dude that would have beaten Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you, to those people, this is what I say. No. You know why? Because he would have been getting clipped with that right hand by Floyd all night long, right? Point blank, period. And guys that fight at range like that, you just got to smother them. Get on the inside. Floyd would know that. So Khan's chin, ugly of the weekend. All right, Nancy, what's your ugly of the weekend?
Okay, so the ugly of the weekend, stay with me on this one, is seeing Ryan Garcia go shopping with Causin. That is to me the ugly. And I think anybody
like they went to the mall.
Look, you see, Dave knows where I'm going with this because he's like smiling. And the reason for that is because I think what'll happen is we're gonna end up seeing Ryan next fight come out in an all denim getup. All right. He's gonna be like rhinestone cowboy in the whole denim shirt, denim jacket, denim pants, via Causin's influence. I think yeah, so that's the ugly. Ryan going shopping with Causin.
Okay, he's okay, all right, fair enough. At least he's not window shopping like Joshua. Anthony Joshua's still window shopping for trainers. He's still like window shopping. Like that's what he's doing. At least Ryan, like went shopping. I'm just saying. Hey, 408. What is the ugly?
The ugly of the weekend for me is William El Camarón Cepeda's performance on the undercard as the co-main event for the Jaime Munguia fight. William Cepeda is a fighter that I've been watching enthusiastically raving about him, saying, oh man, Oscar De La Hoya doesn't want to get that guy anywhere near his cash cow, Ryan Garcia, another lightweight fighter, both almost the same height. The way William Cepeda disposed of Robert Garcia's up and coming fighter, Tanahara, man, that really oh, wow, I was high and mighty on this guy. Here he comes in against an opponent of a lightweight at 5'3". They're slipping and sliding all over the ring. They can't keep this ring dry for some reason in Tijuana. And he walks in right into a guy's hook. He walked right into a hook. It gets dropped. The guy that I've been, raving about gets dropped by a little-known opponent who's only 5'3". Suddenly now I've got more questions than I do answers about this fighter, William Cepeda, who offensively is a dynamic powerhouse. But now I'm wondering what would happen if he walked into Ryan Garcia's hook? We know Ryan Garcia's got a hell of a hook. He's put away quite a few guys. So now the question remains, is William Cepeda just like a Ryan Garcia? It's a suspicious chin. Suspicious chin, but he did dispose of the guy rapidly after that. But it was a very, very ugly fight. Most people walked away saying that that was not the performance they expected from William Cepeda.
There you go, man. William Cepeda. Tell everybody where they can find you, brother.
Oh, for sure. D-South, thanks for having me on, man. I'm going to be on the Shoe Shine late Mondays nights. I'm the last show on HCP. It's a great schedule on Monday. I'm going to drop the channel link right here, and I appreciate for guys inviting me over here today, man. Appreciate it.
There we go. The one and the only Dave from the 408.
Thanks, guys. Have a great show.
The Shoe Shine. You know what I mean? The Shoe Shine. All right. This is HCP 94. 94 episode. That's crazy. All right.
94.
We're just 6 away from 100. From 100.
Are you planning the big celebration already? That's big.
Good times. I mean, just 100 episodes, but we'll see. You know what I mean? Hey, I want to talk about a couple of things, but one of them is Josh Tater's going to be fighting Catterall. All right, are you pumped? Are you excited? Catterall said he said, well, you pulled out of the fight against me, and this guy's like, well, because I was injured, you fool. I was injured. You want me to fight you when I was injured? Like why would I be scared of you? But Josh Tater's on something. His last 4 or 5 opponents are like 170, or some crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
It's he's on something. All right. I think he's going to easily win this fight. It's my opinion. Or do you fear there might be a Camboza situation?
Okay, so
here?
no, but well, I'm going to tell you. Because I immediately thought about you when I was, just kind of reading the news and thinking through, this fight happening. I mean, here's, Catterall's. I'm not even going to sit here and pretend like I know all about this fighter, because I don't. I just know that he has never boxed for a world title before. I don't know that he's really ever faced like an elite opponent like Taylor before, on and on. But I thought about you and the underdog situations, and I thought about how right you've been as of late. So I said, you know what? I'm actually going to wait and get D-Style's perspective, because
I'm done.
Personally, it is an easy win. It has to be. I mean, it has to be.
I pick Khan. Like, you know what I mean? Like my run is over. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what? It's because you weren't here. Like when I pick an upset and you're here.
That's okay.
That's when I
get it right. Okay. So we need to get it right.
So it's all Nancy's fault that Amir Khan lost.
Just blame me. I'll take it. I'll take the blame.
Like it's the curse of the birthday cake.
It is. You know what? And we botched that happy birthday like something ugly. So I'll have to send that link out again. It was good times, but yeah, we didn't kick it off too well. So let's just blame the birthday cake. Yep. Let's blame the birthday cake. But what do you think? Because I honestly thought of you. I'm like, you know what? Here I am thinking, nombre, easy win. He's got this.
We are know the upset special is G-Funky. G-Funky is going all the way with Catterall. You know what I mean? Like from what I heard, it's a rumor. Sources told me that G-Funky's picking Catterall to win. I'm just saying, that's what sources told me. Like you know what I mean? Sources say.
Source, you know what? That is the saying of the year, actually.
Sources say.
Yep. Hashtag sources say.
Another one is pulling a Coppinger. That's another saying.
Yes.
People know what that means if you say that, which is not a good thing for Coppinger. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's a test of the boxing fan now, right? Like, what level of boxing fan are you if you understand when that is said and what is meant by that?
Well, shit. What would you like to see next? Because I believe he's going to win. So what would you like to see next for Taylor here? Sky's the limit. He's getting a mandatory out of the way.
Yeah. I mean, so do we think that he's going to have to move up? Do we think that he's going to have to move up? That's,
what about Progress? I think he's got another date with Progress, in my opinion. I thought that was a close fight.
So I read an article where he talked about, just the feeling of if he stays where he's at, he's going to be reigning long. His reign is going to be long, and almost had the feeling like he felt he was going to end up getting bored, really and truly. And he felt like the challenge would be in moving up, and that's what he wants. He wants the challenge. So what is that?
I don't know. He's saying that Catterall's going to cause a huge upset. He says Jimbo MOB. Hashtag MOB, by the way. Shout out to H-Money, but I'm just saying he's saying that it's going to be an upset. Is what he's saying. Okay, well we'll see. I don't think so.
All I can say, the good that I did, because I did some homework. Sometimes I have to do my homework, and the good that I did read about this guy is that he does have some good boxing IQ. Right. So, of course, that's one of the many important components on making a good fighter and a good fight. But I feel like I don't know enough of him to claim he's going to win. But I just thought of you in the whole underdog situation, and you were on a roll there for a while. But, back to Taylor.
Let's see if I can just said in the chat. It said Catterall will win. You see what he said? He said it in the chat. That's what G-Funky just said. That's how I read it.
If G-Funky said it, that's I don't know. I think that's huge. So anyway, but anyway, I just think that Taylor probably feels that the bigger fights are going to be, of course, beyond this next fight, and then possibly having to move up. So we'll see. So
if he moves up,
division,
though,
we know is like super packed.
Right. Well, if he moves up, I mean, I always thought a good fight would be a fight with Crawford, but now
You
Crawford
got
is suing
Spence, you got
Aaron. So
Ortiz, Boots.
you
People are
got
even throwing Thurman in there.
Thurman against Tater. That's an interesting fight. But if you're Tater, though, I think you want to go straight to a title, I think.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, and he has a WBO, and if you move up, you could become a mandatory for the WBO strap, who has a WBO. Crawford does, right? So I'm just saying, then it will still be kind of like Aaron versus Crawford as well. You know what I mean? Because Aaron promotes Tater.
That's
So there's that dynamic, the drama. You know what I mean? That's novela style shit right there. I'm saying.
You know
what I mean?
Novela, that the Twitter novela sells. Twitter
I want
novela
a
sells.
trial by combat. Like that would be Bobber.
Yep. I think you're right. And when again, just thinking about him possibly facing Crawford, Spence, or like I said, even Ortiz or Boots or Thurman. I mean, I think those are the type of fights he's looking for.
Right.
Here he's been off what? Has it been since like 19? When did he fight?
Yeah.
When was his last fight? Like 19, right? And
are you talking about Taylor?
Yeah, Taylor. Or when was his last fight?
Ramirez.
I'm losing. Oh, that's right, Ramirez. Okay. So after Ramirez, though, for him to fight Catterall, I don't think we're going to get the same, same fight there, the same energy. And he's looking for that.
Right.
He's looking for that energy. He's looking for that challenge. And it's just not going to happen where he's at, is what I'm saying. At least what I think, and from what I've read, his comments and some of the interviews he's giving, it's like, okay, he's going to get this done, but I think he has his sights, really set, going above. Yep.
Okay. Shout out to Tony Boswell, by the way. He says Tater is big for 140 and would have success in the welterweight division, in my opinion. I agree with you.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. I think Josh Tater is big for that weight class. He's got the frame for welterweight. You know what I mean? But there's some beasts at welterweight. You got Spence, you got Crawford, you got Ugas. I'm saying. So you got and then the up and comers: Conor Benn, Virgil Ortiz, Boots Ennis.
That's right.
I mean, so I think he's going to try to strategize a little bit, but I think a Pro Grace rematch is ideal. I think he owes him a rematch, in my opinion. But I think Pro Grace beats him though.
You think so?
Yeah, I thought he beat him the first time.
I don't know. I'm still leaning towards Taylor. And I think in the rematch,
you scored it for Taylor
too. Yeah, I'd go for Taylor. I went for Taylor, and I'd go for Taylor. But I think the more I think about it, the more I read.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now Nancy's wearing a Union jacket right now. Okay, that's why she don't want to be on camera. Okay, she's repping UK all day, every day.
You know what? I need to check my 23andMe DNA. Let's see what percent I might be that ties into Taylor.
Hey, I'm just saying. Hey, DJ Michigan in the chat. Shout out to her. Okay. She did the intro for us. Lennox was best in the building. How's it going, brother? Jimbo says the reason why Top Rank kept paying money to Jack to step aside as a Mando for Ramirez to fight other boxers because they wanted Undisputed. I think that's why. I don't think because they were fearing the wrath of of homeboy over here. I just don't. I don't know if he's sweating Catterall. You know what I mean? I just don't. Now, granted,
I don't think
you don't want to overlook him. Hopefully, Taylor doesn't make the mistake of overlooking him. But I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, because I mean, we see that happen all too often, right? And that's why I thought, well, could this be?
Could it be?
But it should be. Let's just say it should be an easy win. And after this, I just don't think he'll stay. I really don't think he'll stay. I think he has his sights set on, the welter division because it is packed. I mean, it's packed with talent. It's packed with, the names that are going to give you the pay, that are going to give you the visibility, right? So, yep.
Hey, so Jimbo
thank
says
you.
The UK is happy to. You see what I mean?
There you go. Thank you.
See how
thank
quick
you. I've been accepted. Thank you.
What's going on over here? Just like oh, totally. Like I'm gonna start BCP. Like what? BCP.
We're good.
Like British causing panic. Like what?
I have been adopted.
The British are coming. The British are coming. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I'm just putting that out there. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I'm just saying. All right.
Thank you, Jimbo. Thank you.
It's lo güero, right? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? You know?
Yeah,
Is it
you know, I told you I've been working on getting the tan to add a little color.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
So that's that's Taylor. We'll see how this fight goes. Should be easy, but I think the guy's got goals that are past where he is right now. So
Definitely.
He wants more. He wants to do more. He's going to want more titles. You know, and now's the time to go for it, right? Now's the time to make the move. And here's what and so, you know, one of the things that we said like a couple weeks ago was just talking about how some boxers are finally making the moves, doing whatever it takes to get what they want, right? Because we were talking about Boo Boo, and Boo Boo's finally like, yeah, I'm done. I'm going to take it into my control and do what I got to do to start to get, you know, the fights and get what I want. It's like boxers are starting to finally realize like that's what they have to do. And I think Taylor's going to pursue, and he knows what he has to do to get what he wants. And that's going to be moving up in weight. So, you know, we'll see.
All right. Makes sense. Well, then, we'll see. You know, I like Josh Taylor. You know what I mean? He reminds me of William Wallace from the movie. I don't know the historical one that much, but from the movie, remember William Wallace with Mel Gibson? You know what I mean? Just whooping people's asses and shit, you know, killing dudes on horseback. You know what I mean? That's what it reminds me of. You know what I mean? He's just like showing up.
Okay,
shit.
now I'm gonna have to pull up a picture.
Like I don't want to talk shit about Josh Taylor because he'll show up with a horse in my room and like hit me with one of those balls, you know, like, you know, so I'm just like, I'm good. You know what I mean? But you know, another thing I like about Josh, he's very cerebral, right? He likes to like. He strategically got Ramirez like angry and amped up before the fight. You know what I mean?
That mind game.
So he's Braveheart, the modern day Braveheart. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like chill out, everybody. You know, it'll be cool if he walked out, but I guess they
Tony, that's excellent. Oh my gosh, you know what, Tony? Put it out there in the Twitterverse.
He's Braveheart.
You should give him the idea.
Twitter, though.
You know?
I don't think he has Twitter, Tony. You know what I mean?
Tony, get Twitter, put it out there. If not, we'll put it out on your behalf.
We'll be like Tony said. You know what I mean?
Tony,
like he's Braveheart.
It's Tony's idea. Tony brought it up. It's on record. I think that'd be an excellent, you know what? Start working on the costumes, start hiring the extras. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that type of walkout like to Braveheart? Like the theme, the music y todo?
I know.
That would be pretty cool.
So let's bring on our next guest here. All right, the one and the only Maestro. Boxing from Mano a Mano Live, 6 p.m. Eastern every Monday. Subscribe to his channel, ladies and gentlemen. Right, how's it going, Maestro?
All good, man. Just a nice Tuesday night here in New York City. You know, just relaxing. Finish some food. Now, obviously enjoying the best out there, which is the HCP network. Everybody here already knows that. How's it going, Nancy?
It's all good. It's all good. So happy that you're on and excited to see you. I'm here. It's really me. It's just not today.
Got it. I understand. It's always nice to hear your voice, at least, you know.
Absolutely. Make sure you guys hit my like button, by the way. This is what I want to talk about. So Terence Crawford, as you guys know, Bomac was training Khan. Crawford was out there. When he was doing the media workout, he allowed Crawford to come on. He got a big ovation. He got to experience the whole thing as well. And in an interview with IFL, he said, hey, I think the UK fans are the best. And he even said, hey, I might want to come out here and fight, which would be smart in fairness. I mean, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like in the States, like only Omaha will show him that type of love. You know what I mean? But, you know, at this point.
Hey, he came to Texas and I showed him love when he came and fought here in Arlington some years back. So
yeah, but when you were showing love to Errol Spence too, he kind of felt some type of way about that. You know, he was kind of like, yo, Team Spence or Team Crawford? You know what I mean? But look, here's what I'll say. Right? Maestro, what do you make of Crawford saying that the UK, it's just a very blanket statement in my opinion, but he said, I witnessed it. They're the best, he said. And he's been around too himself, you know. So
there's a lot of validity to that statement, you know, and I'm not just saying that because I got my British passport last week, courtesy of DHL, you know, express delivery and all that good stuff. But look, I mean,
like how he announces the conflict of interest like right on the bat.
I gotta let people know, you know. On one side of my family, they have roots on that side, you know, England through España and Africa. So, but yeah, you know, what can I say? They've got a great amateur program out there. Those who know about boxing know about the ABAs, which are the kind of national tournament that they have out there. You know, if you look at the way their pro game's structured, you know, they got the area champions, like Southern area in England, and it builds up to English champion, and they have the British champion, and as well as the Commonwealth champion, and that feeds into the European and also the world. So they've got a very established and old structure. And as we all know, the Marquess of Queensberry was from that part of the world, you know, so the sport has extensive roots out there.
Football,
rugby, cricket, tennis, which used to be called lawn tennis, is from that neck of the woods as well. So, I mean, there's that perspective. And then if you look at it from the perspective of a foreign fighter, right? Lomachenko had a huge night out there when he faced off against Campbell. They sold out the O2, right? Triple G, huge night out there, you know, when he sold out the O2 against Kell Brook. Klitschko, huge night out there when he sold out Wembley against Joshua. I could go on and on and on. There's a long history dating back to the beginning of the sport of international fighters heading out to England and even Scotland at times. Don't forget, Terence Crawford won his first title in Scotland against Ricky Burns. There's a long history of international fighters fighting in England and the UK, being well received there. Just ask Muhammad Ali, you know, just ask Mike Tyson. And the fans there have had a long track record of supporting international fighters. Now, I already know we're here on HCP, so people say, hey, but what about Mexico? Mexico is el número uno. Okay, well, that's true for Mexicans. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot of support for Mexican fighters in Mexico. And if you look at the lower weight divisions, Mexico's been holding it down for a long time, right? You got fighters from across the Caribbean in the lower weight classes, Central America. Even Asians go out there. But when we're talking about the middle to upper weight classes, if you're talking about international fighters applying their trade, it's really the United States followed by the UK. I think that's pretty fair to say.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And
Nancy, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. So 42.5% of my European DNA are going for Taylor, by the way. I just had to look that up since y'all already know I'm 2% Irish, according to my DNA. So I love sharing those numbers.
Taylor's not Irish, though. He's
I know, but I have brought that up in the past. So I'm using,
you're gonna get.
I'm using my DNA.
Gaelic, and some Gaelic ancestry there.
There you go.
Very true. Very true.
So,
okay,
but no, I agree. I agree with what Maestro's saying, and this is where I would, I would ask everybody just to take a step back. You think about this sport. This is a global sport. The visibility that we get in terms of the global sport, we probably see 5-10%, right, of all of the boxers and the fighters, right, of the boxing community. That is all that we are seeing, right? And in the US, we do tend to just kind of, and I guess it could be in any country, but we do tend to just kind of focus on our immediate, Latino America and North America boxing base. Globally, y'all, this is so much bigger than what we get exposure to here. And that's where I do applaud what Eddie is doing and how I will even raise my hand. He's actually exposed me to more fighters, and I've learned so much more about some of the fighters that are overseas ever since he has been bringing in, more fighters, to come fight over here in the U.S., which is fantastic. Like, that's what should be happening. For Crawford to make that comment, I think it's, again, him possibly, starting to see that global aspect more. Not that he was blind to it, but just seeing it more. And surely the reception that he received, being out there and realizing that he too is a global name. So, I agree with Maestro on that there's some really hardcore UK fans out there. And when they show up, and we've seen it, especially with the zone fights, right? You've been seeing the turn, and you know what? They're the ones that show up from the beginning. It's not a lot of the empty until the main fight. If you notice, like, these fans are there, like, from the very first fight on the undercard.
Oh, I noticed. And they're also turning out for prospects, as we saw the other day. And they're chanting, they got their little chants going on like it's a football match. They're there early, and there's something, honestly, that's very, I wouldn't say unique to the UK, but definitely a little bit different than here. Like, yeah, you have your New York support to a certain extent for New York fighters, but ask Danny Jacobs how far that goes. They really turn up for their hometown guys over there, They really do. Like, Kell Brook fought in a soccer stadium in Sheffield. Tony Bellew fought in a soccer stadium in Liverpool. I could go on and on. If they're not in arenas, they're in soccer stadiums. If they're not in arenas, even the lowest level you go is like an alley pally for a big fight. It's very impressive what they do out there in England.
Yep.
Hey, how's it going, Max? How you doing, brother?
Yo, it's good, man. Thank you for having me on your show, and salute, brother.
Hey, salute to you, brother. I know you don't have a lot of time, so I just want to ask you two questions before we got to let you go. But first of all, do you think the UK fans are the best fans in the world, in your opinion?
I think they show up the best when it comes to the fights, and I do think they cheer for their guys the best. I think they probably support their local fighters better than any other country, but I'm not sure if they're the best overall. I mean, a lot of UK fans are not as sophisticated when it comes to the sport in total as American fans, in my opinion. But I do think when it comes to supporting their guys, they are better than the American fans. Just look at how packed their venues are, and they always support the UK fighters. So I'd say they support their fighters better, but I don't think they're the best fans in the world all around.
Okay. Who do you think is the best fans in the world all around?
I'd say us, to be honest. I think American fans all around are probably the best fans on earth, because I think American fans know the most about the sport. I think they pay attention. I don't think any country fully pays attention to the other countries, but I think out of all the countries, I think American fans probably educate themselves more about global fighters than any other country.
Okay, all right. Another question before anything. We're going to go to this topic next, but I want to ask you first, just to get your thoughts on it. So, Jermell Charlo, Crawford wants to fight the winner of Jermell versus Castano. Do you think that will be a big move for Crawford, and do you think he could beat either guy?
I think it would be a massive move for Terence Crawford, because the winner of that fight is going to be undisputed at 154. If he can defeat either of those guys, he'd be a two-weight division undisputed champion, which would be an incredible accolade. And I'll tell you this, I actually do favor Terence Crawford to beat both Jermell Charlo and Brian Castano at the moment. I think they're both very tough fights for him in completely different ways. I think Charlo's capable of putting Crawford's lights out. I think Castano is capable of outworking Crawford and getting rough and rugged in the inside. But I would not confidently pick either of those guys to beat Crawford. I trust Crawford more than I trust those two. I do favor him to beat both of those guys, and I think either fight would be massive for Crawford's career. It's not the fight we want to see the most. We do want to see that Spence fight the most, but assuming that fight doesn't happen, that is by far the second best option. Undisputed at 154.
Awesome. Hey, I'm glad I was able to get some of you, brother. Tell everybody where they could find you here on YouTube, and hopefully we can bring you back for one of the shows.
Of course. I appreciate you having me on. Truly appreciate it. You can find me on YouTube at Mighty Max Boxing, and you can also find me on Twitter at Mighty Max Boxing. I appreciate you having me on. It was my pleasure, and it was an honor to be on your channel.
All right, brother. Peace out, brother. Have a good one, man.
You too, brother.
The one and only Mighty Max. We just need to get him on really quick. You know what I mean?
Nice.
A young man. Good to see a young boxing fan out there. I'm just saying, they're rare.
Good boxing fan.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm over here having like a mom moment. I'm like, oh, I'm so proud. This kid, he knows what he's talking about. Look at him. Yep, that's awesome.
Now that I know he's your son, I might not disagree with him as harshly as I was about to. I'm just joking.
No.
I'm just joking. So for those who don't know,
adopted son.
He was participating in the Gaelic
disagree
earlier today, so that's probably why she's off camera, rolling boulders and slinging stuff. I don't know if you've seen the Gaelic team, Nancy, but in all seriousness, if I had to go who I think the most knowledgeable fans are in the sport, I mean, this is totally anecdotal, but when I lived out in the UK, I met my first Japanese boxing fan. And since then, going to fights in New York City, I always see, a group of Japanese guys. And you start combos with these guys, they know it all, from like the lowest minimum weight division all the way up to the heavyweight division. What I will say about a lot of the fans in the United States, and D-Style can attest to this, I'm sure, especially up until recently. I mean, most fans over here, they don't really care about anything in the lower weight divisions. You ask people to start naming the minimum weight and flyweight, and like they're just crickets. They don't know what the hell is going on. They're like, what weight class is that?
You know what it is? And I remember hearing this a lot, like growing up, like, and you'll hear, like, even like commentators would say stuff like this, like, oh, the American boxing fan doesn't want to watch someone that they feel they have a shot to beat up, like, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like if they could beat up like De La Hoya in his prime or some shit, like, or even like Eric Morales or something. Like, chill the fuck out, Like, shout out to Ashley Knuckles, by the way. He said he saw like Juan Diaz knock like big dudes out, like, because they were like friends growing up, Like, and Juan Diaz wasn't like a big dude, but he knew how to knock people out, like regular people. You know what I mean? If you're not trained, a boxer could easily knock a dude out. You know what I mean? It's just point blank period. But here's what I want to say. To me, we had this conversation on the roundtable before, and it got heated. You know what I mean? But I want to rationally say, it's got my fade. It's I'm a little more responsible now. It's that hoodie D-Style. I mean, beanie D-Style talking. This is clean cut D-Style talking. I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, that the best boxing fans in the world are Mexicans. I just feel Mexicans are the best, and maybe I'm biased, but I think they're the best fans in the world. And I'm talking when you count the fans in Mexico and the Mexican-American fans, right? And Mexicans around the world. I just think, in my opinion, the level of support that they'll show, like when they show up to a Canelo fight, when they the support they'll show for local fighters in Mexico and stuff like that. I'm just saying, from the Tijuana cab drivers to the elite, Mexican fighters like Valdez or like Canelo especially, I just think Mexican fans are the best fans in the world. And I feel like at least in recent times, we've been, at least on the western part of the world, or at least I can't even say the West, because I guess you could still count Europe as a West, but goes back to Roman times, East and West. But nonetheless, this part of the world, the Americas, the Latino fan base, not just Mexicans, but the Latino fan base, largely part of the Mexican fan base, has carried boxing largely. When a lot of Caucasians were watching like UFC a lot, boxing still had the Mexican fan base holding it down. You know what I mean? So that's just how I feel about it. You know what I mean? Like I gotta put the Mexican fan base and the UK right below them. Like it's my opinion. Like it's like 1A and 1D. Like not 2, but like D. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, there's a couple issues I have with that D-Style. The first is that it's a very, I would say, US-centric view. When you say that the Mexican fans were holding it down. I mean, boxing was thriving in other parts of the world when it was like on its decline here in the United States. And I agree with you when it comes to other communities. Like a lot of other communities pretty much abandoned boxing over here. I mean, there was a time when you always hear the old timers say it was like boxing, then horse racing and baseball or something along those lines. Like we've moved a long way from that, but it's tough to argue with feeling. But it's a lot, easier to argue with like numbers and I didn't come prepared with numbers or anything. So in many respects, I'm thinking from a feeling standpoint too. But, I have a tough time. Like, let's say Terence Crawford went to fight in Mexico. How do you think that fight does over there?
I think it does great.
Does it do as well as it would in the UK?
No, because the UK is a richer country.
In absence of Richard, like let's say the price was.
I think he'll sell out like a bull ring over there for sure.
So all things aside, Terence Crawford could do what Jaime Munguia did in Tijuana if he fought there.
I believe so.
Okay.
Terence Crawford fights are televised nationally over there.
No, I'm sure they are. I mean, you get most of the ESPN cards are televised in Mexico on free TV actually.
Crawford's the go-to guy when like the Mexicans that don't want to give Canelo the number one, like that he's the go-to guy. Like, no, it's Crawford. Like, look at Marquez. Like,
look, I don't know about the best fans, but I will tell you that I can only think of one country that was so divided. Friendships were lost, marriages were lost over a fight. And we're talking Wilder Fury, Twitter wars, and that was here. That got ugly and that got nasty, and that was not necessarily because they're the best fans, but perhaps the most passionate fans, right? So when we talk best, what then would justify like best fan versus would that be knowledgeable, like the most knowledgeable fan or the most passionate, right? Because
true.
I mean
that's one of the things that comes to mind.
Those things are hard to measure as well,
Yeah.
Which is what makes it very subjective.
I'll say this all day.
I'm saying you're wrong. I'm not
No,
saying
I know. I mean, it's like you can't quantify. You can't quantify or measure.
It is
any
hard
of that,
for anybody.
but that's the one thing that came to mind is that
even though
that got ugly.
Look, Maestro's right. It is hard to measure, but I mean, I'll keep it on. I'll keep it 100. Like as far as atmosphere, like you can't deny the UK has everybody beat in atmosphere. Like, there's no that's not even close.
I mean, they did with Alexandra Palace, a 7,000 seat, large hall. I mean, it was raucous in there.
So in terms of like atmosphere, like they definitely, you could tell even like when a Buffer's there, like Buffer has fun there, like, you know what I mean? But in terms of an overall like support, like here's what I'll say, like, and look, I don't live in the UK, so I can't gauge how big it is there. I don't live in Japan, like, you know what I mean? But at least in this side of the world, I mean, I feel like the Mexican fan base is
100%. In the United States, in North America, it's by far Mexico. But here's what I would compare to, right? If anyone wants to compare atmosphere, who's the liveliest, who's the most raucous, look at Canelo's fight at Dallas Cowboy Stadium, right? Huge crowd, great audience, obviously, and watch that, and then watch AJ at Wembley against Klitschko. And
when the mariachis came out, it was lit. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not saying it wasn't lit, but I mean AJ and Klitschko at Wembley, that was some pretty epic stuff right there.
Right. No, for sure. There's no doubt about that. You know what I mean? Well, hey, since we have you on, Maestro, and by the way, shout out to the UK fan base out there. You know what I mean?
Big time.
Since we have you on, it's the 2-year anniversary of Wilder Fury.
Ooh.
So the second fight, the beatdown, the beatdown, like when
it wasn't quite a beatdown. There was a disloyal trainer, and his water was spiked, and there's a lot of glove tampering. So I don't know if we could call it a beatdown, really, this time.
Bro, if somebody beats you up so bad,
robbery in the history of boxing. Let's keep it real.
Like I used to have a cousin, right? Well, I mean, I still have a cousin, but I remember one time he got beat up, and then he was like, "Oh, like 4 guys jumped me. That's what happened." And then I asked some people, like, "That's not true, bro. You got his ass kicked." But he swore that he was jumping behind by 4 dudes, and he had to exaggerate the story. He had to because he didn't lose. They jumped me. It was a bunch of them, right? That's what happened, bro. Like when you get beat up that bad, Like, and his fan base were trying to tell him, like, nah, you didn't get beat up. He cheated. You didn't get beat up. They put shit in the gloves. Like, you didn't get beat up. Your trainer drugged you, right? I mean, that's what happened. I know you know that, but I mean that's what happened.
Oh, I mean, I have a family relative through marriage. One of my cousin's partner. I'm not going to go into too many details. I'm not trying to out the person here. But I was at a family barbecue. I had the third fight. And this particular person was like adamant about, African-American, by the way, was adamant about the fact that Wilder was drugged, and then brought up like some movie with, I don't know if it was the first Undisputed or the second one. I think it was the second one, actually, with not with Wesley Snipes, with Michael Jai White as evidence.
That's right.
Wait, a movie?
Is it when he's in the wheelchair and he sees it happen?
Wait,
and instead of being like, "Hey, yo, they're spiking the water," he just watches intensely.
His Exhibit A was a movie.
Scott Adkins, that's the one. I was holding my drink and I was like trying not to like laugh because the person is older than me. It's my cousin's older than me, and I do have to respect people. But I was like, damn. And he's like, yeah, I saw it on the internet. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you did see it on the internet. Anyway, go ahead.
You did predict you predicted Fury to win by knockout, right?
I predicted Fury to win by KO, yes, by knockout in that fight, yeah. Yes.
Well, what is it that you saw, right? Well, what is it that you saw before the rematch that made you confident he was going to stop him? It
was the 12th round when I saw him hurt Wilder going forward. And I was one of the few people that actually believed the dude. Because you remember in the 12th round after he got up, it was like probably about 10, 15 seconds when he was recovering, right? Mm-hmm. And then like something clicked in his head and he decided just to kind of walk down Wilder. And he had Wilder like hurt bad in the 12th round. And if people were listening to him in lead up to the fight, people thought it was Fury being Fury.
I thought it was capping.
Yeah, talking that shit. But I was like, no, actually, he did do that in the first fight. He got up, he took his best shot, and then he decided to walk him down and hurt him. And also, I was one of the people who was like, you know what, this guy came off of a fat camp. Shout out to Tony Robbins, Billy Blanks, and it was the gay dude with the afro, the white dude. Oh, was it Simmons? Richard Simmons, I think is back in the day. Shout out to all of the guys helping people lose weight. But I mean, he lost a lot of weight going into that first fight, right? And he didn't need to lose all of that weight going into the second fight. And I also saw the fight against Tom Schwartz. And then I was also very happy to hear that he was going to a front forward style and Kronk style, and I was believing it. A salute to H Money. I see H Money in the chat. I know he was believing it too. And he ended up proving himself and the people that believed in what he was saying to be true.
Yes. Well,
this is where else does Richard Simmons get a shout out?
Like, HCP, baby. That's where he gets a shout out. You know what I mean?
Bring out the childhood references, Nancy. This is HCP.
And you know what? I knew exactly when you said the fro.
The white gay dude with the afro. Yeah.
I'm sure I don't know. I think we're the same age. We're the same age.
Yeah, the early 80s babies, the tank tanks with the spandex and the very homosexual fitness classes.
I'm a pony. Remember that? Hey, but with that said, might as well tell everybody where they can find you, what you got going on, and all that good stuff, brother.
Oh, absolutely. So, shout out to my brother, El Capitan, El Líder, El Jefe, El Don, D-Style Boxing. It can only be one quarterback. Mi hermano causando pánico. Okay, you can find me cooking on D-Style Boxing, obviously. But mostly you can find me cooking on Maestro A, which is Maestro A in English. So catch me over there. And yeah, man, thank you for having me on, D-Style.
Absolutely, man. Have a good one, brother.
You too, fam. Take care, and salute to the entire HCP.
That's right. That's right. All right. Hey, what do you like? I'm just saying
that was
that's 2 years ago. What do you remember about that fight, really quick? What do you remember about that
Wait,
fight?
first, that was some good laughs. Thank you, Maestro. That was like much needed. That was nice flashbacks, nice laughs. You know, I remember I was so upset. I was so upset at what happened after, you know, the fight. I'm like, it was what it was. I didn't see there to be reason for anything to be questioned, but what came after is really what was disappointing. It took me a bit just to even process that there was a legit accusation, you know, against this individual that had been at that corner for years, you know, had just shown to always have this individual's best interest in, at least from what we could see, right? Best interest at heart, and for such an accusation and what something like that does, not just to the relationship and the person, but the reputational risk that comes with, you know, with having accused him of spiking his watch. I just remember being so upset.
Crazy.
So upset. It was crazy. Yeah, but I
was crazy.
just can't believe that it's 2 years, man. That's crazy.
That's right, man. He got his ass beat. That's all I remember. You know what I mean? I remember being shocked. I had Wilder winning that fight, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?" He was ass beat, and then and I think most people that picked him, except for a few, said knockout. Maestro was one of them, but most that had Fury winning was by decision. Like nobody really believed him when he said, "Oh, I'm going to go right at Wilder." Like, yeah, right. Of course you are, right? Hey, but George, how's it going, brother?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Doing good.
Okay.
Hey, George.
Hi, how you doing? Good evening.
First of all, tell everybody where they could find you on social media, YouTube, all that good stuff. Really quick.
All right, cool. Instagram, you can find me at off the ropes _ boxing and MMA. Twitter, same thing, off the ropes boxing and MMA. And then we have our YouTube channel that me and my co-host Julian have, that we do, you know, once or twice a week. Yeah, we're there, man. Off the ropes boxing MMA. I appreciate coming on. It's awesome and honor, man. I know we were trying to get in touch with each other like a couple of weeks ago, but it just didn't turn out that way. And I figured, you know what, even if I'm late, I'm gonna come on, even if it's for like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. Like I appreciate you reaching out, brother.
Sure, brother. No problem. Hey, Jermell Charlo, we're talking about right here. Jermell Charlo is had her saying he ain't buying the fact that Castano is injured. Some have said he's almost insinuating that he's like on something and doesn't want to be tested. Maybe that's why he's doing the injury thing. He said that they're playing games. It's happened twice. He ain't buying it, right? Now, I saw some stories out there saying that he wanted proof now, but I don't know. I couldn't find anything like concrete that Jermell said. If anybody in the chat has it, let me know. But I don't know what Jermell himself has said. I want to see proof and all this other stuff. But nonetheless, he's not buying it. So the fight is postponed, unfortunately. I mean, we're so close to getting that rematch. Great fight, undisputed. The first fight was great, but nonetheless, George, what do you make of Jermell Charlo kind of throwing that out there? And do you think that Castano's being truthful that is injured?
Man, you know, nowadays, this generation of boxing, you never know, but I really don't feel like Castano has a track record of pulling out of fights or some kind of controversy. But as far as Jermell, I mean, maybe he's just trying to spice up. I mean, the fight is already spicy enough, I think, in a rematch. So I really don't see what the point is. Maybe just trying to show that he's got this fire in him still, that, hey, you know what? The first fight wasn't a fluke. You know, I'm going to come out and prove that I could win. Just, I guess, maybe just showing his intensity. At least that's what my assessment. And same with you. I was trying to look into it a little bit more, and I really didn't see much other than, you know, Jermell wanting receipts.
He wants to see some receipts out there. I mean, but that's basically saying you're lying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like, why, Nancy? Why would Castano lie? Does he strike you as a guy that would lie?
I'm with
You
George.
know what? I kind of got the Castano.
I'm going to tell you.
Right
It's looking
Shout out
good.
to Castano.
So here, first of all, to the earlier comment, if we think Charlo really thinks that, so we don't know, right? # sources say. However, I would say that given just what we see of the Charlo brothers' demeanor and, you know, what they tend to say or not say, I would say that it's very possible that they are indeed saying what is being said and they're questioning the injury. I don't think that it's, something that Castano is faking it. Why would he? Okay. I mean, look at the sacrifices this guy made
He's
to
scared.
be
He's scared.
to be where he had to be to make this fight happen in the first place, right? And he showed up. And why? Like, there's just, I can't think of a reason why. So sources say, again, hashtag sources say, that, he actually suffered the injury during a sparring session about 2 weeks ago or so. And that it's going to be like a whole month before he even recovers, right? So if we're already like 2-3 weeks in a couple weeks, he should be back. What I've been thinking about is, okay, what does this now do then to his performance? And, regardless of the outcome, somehow or other, this injury is now going to get, blamed for something. I can't think of what, but it'll get blamed. Something will come of it. And that's the only thing that kind of sucks about this, is that now there's this kind of hanging over the fight, right? It's unfortunate, it's unfortunate first and foremost that he got hurt. But now there's this injury that's, hanging over the fight. So, yeah.
Well,
I don't think he's faking it.
What I will say is this. I mean, Castano's already been in the ring with you, dude. Like, he went 12 rounds with you already. So why would he be scared or something? But unless you're trying to insinuate something, you know what I mean? Hey, but before we get our next guest here, George, any final thoughts you have about this, brother?
Oh, about the Castano?
Sure.
Yeah. I really don't think. I really do genuinely believe that Castano is injured again. What does he need to postpone? I mean, we saw his performance in this first fight. Like, I would say a majority of everybody that watched it with two good eyes, 20/20 vision, believe that Castano won this fight. So I don't see why Castano would try to postpone this in his eyes. So I genuinely think he's injured.
All right, brother. Well said.
I agree.
Hope to get you back on in the future and all that good stuff. You have it going, brother.
Hey, same to you. Thank you guys very much. You guys have a good evening.
Thanks, George.
Absolutely. Hey, the one and the only H Money in the building right now. You know what I mean? Like, we got H Money. Mitchell's on. How's it going, brother?
What's good? D-Style Boxing. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, brother. What do you make, brother? What do you make of Jermell kind of throwing some shade at Castano about the injury? Or
I think I think he's just talking trash, trying to get in his head, and playing mind games with him. But Castano will not fake an injury. I thought Brian Castano won the first fight, and injuries happen in boxing. It happens all the time. We just seen Errol Spence, get injured in the fight with Manny Pacquiao, the Manny Pacquiao fight, and we seen it happen in the past. Andre Ward, he had to pull out a fight, and it happens. It's a part of boxing. But I don't think Brian Castano is faking an injury.
Well, I agree with you. Now, I want to talk to Tim Tszyu offered. Tim Tszyu said, "Yo, I'll step up. I'll fight Jermell right now, and Castano could fight the winner." You know what I mean? Well, what do you make of that, H Money? I mean, is this a real dude? Is he like his pops? He sounds like a real dude to me. He was ready to fight Jermell then and there. He wanted that. He wanted a piece. He wanted that smoke.
Yeah, Tim Tszyu, bro, he's a hell of a fighter. He's the son of a legend. His father, Costa Tszyu, was a former undisputed champion at 140 pounds, and he wants to do the same thing. Tim Tszyu, he's all about that smoke, man. In Australia, he's big time. I think Tim Tszyu is the biggest name at 154 pounds. He is the cash cow at 154 for sure.
Whoa.
So if Charlo wants to make some real money, that's the fight right there. But maybe he wants to go straight for the undisputed. He doesn't want to, I mean, what would you want to see? Would you want Charlo to wait for undisputed, or maybe mix it up with Tim Tszyu in between?
I would like to see the Tim Tszyu fight, because that would have been like next month or later this month. And we would have had it already. You know what I mean? And then Castano could fight the winner. You know what I mean? I was all for that. It sounds like Tim Tszyu wants that smoke, brother. Like, he wants to step out of the shadow of his pops. I was on the Boxing Voice. I asked Tim Tszyu himself, You know, do you like to be in the shadow of your dad, or do you want to be your own man? And you know what he said? He kept it real. He said, no, like it's an advantage, you know. I mean, I get a lot of attention because of my dad, but yes, I need to step out of the shadow eventually. But he was embracing. He's proud of his dad, but he also wants to become his own man. With that said, Crawford said, yo, I've done everything I could. I've done my part. Okay, Spence doesn't want to fight me, yada, yada, yada. And then he said, I want the winner of Castano versus Jermell. H Money. Talk to us. What would you make of that fight? And do you think Crawford would be the favorite against either one of those guys?
You know, to be honest with you, I would like to see Terence Crawford, you know, fight at 147. He needs to fight the winner of Errol Spence and Yordenis Ugas. He should not leave 147 pounds without fighting Errol Spence. You know, so if he does move up, I will be disappointed because the real fight that I want to see for Terence Crawford is Errol Spence Jr. But if he moves up to 154, I think Terence Crawford, he could compete with anybody at 154 pounds because Jermell Charlo, he got beat already. He got beat by Tony Harrison. And also, I thought he lost that fight with Castano, the first fight. And Brian Castano is a hell of a fighter, but I think Terence Crawford, you know, he could beat those guys. I think he can.
All right, there we go. I mean, it would be for Undisputed though, 154. I mean, moving up, Undisputed, it would be a big move. But I do agree with you. I want to see if he can get the winner of that fight first, right, before he moves up. No doubt about that. And in the meantime, he could maybe fight a Josh Hader, 147, something like that. H Money, tell everybody where they can find you, brother. What you got going on your channel?
For sure, you can follow me on H Money on YouTube. H Money Boxing, man. It's free smoke every day. You know, we cover the sport of boxing, and we talk about the top guys. We talk about fighters like Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford, you know, Yordenis Ugas, and David Morrell Jr., Devin Haney, just all the top fighters, man. And, man, we bringing everybody together, man. And that's what we're doing with D-Style Boxing and the HCP. Let's go, brother.
A shout out to MOB, HCP. That's H Money Boxing. Hey, thanks for coming on, brother.
You're welcome, brother. Anytime.
There we go. That's H Money, guys. Make sure you check them out. But the thing that's I mean, we're getting swamped with people. You know what I mean? We're just
I love it. This is you know, this is what I'm talking about. Just the energy, us boxing fans. You know, whether you like this boxer or not, or you're going for him or her. Man, this is the sport we all love, and you know, we gotta just all come together. At the end of the day, we should be able to have a discussion about the sport, disagree, and then go have a michelada and tacos right after. So
why can't we be friends?
Why can't we be friends?
That's right. There's no need for bloodshed out here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying.
I really enjoyed having everybody on today. It was just great to hear everybody's perspective.
But we're not done yet.
Thank you. Well, I'm grateful to everybody that jumped on. It's just, you know, a lot of fun, a lot of different energy, and it's all good. HCP.
HCP. That's what I'm talking about. Who's down with HCP? Everybody. All right. Hit my like button, guys. Check it out. What do you think, Nancy, of Tim Tszyu? Would you have liked that, or do you prefer the fact that the fight was postponed? What if Tim Tszyu was going to fight Jermell Charlo? What's your reaction to that event?
I would have liked that. I would have been okay with that, and I absolutely would be leaning towards Tim on this one. You know, I did, because I knew we were going to touch on this. I did take a snip. Again, the homework, the reading, the article.
Oh my God, what's going on over here? What is it? What's going on? Well, what is this? Well, what's going on? Who invited this? I didn't send you a link. I don't know who sent you a link.
Holmes, I always get a link, eh?
Every time we see him, the stash is stronger. The stash is working out. You know,
don't praise him. Don't give him props.
I mean, what weight class? What weight class is the mustache in? Is what I want to know.
Heavyweight division.
I tell you, this mustache in a weight class of its own, eh? Firme brocha, okay? Firme brocha, Holmes.
Where's your chilada? Do you have a chilada? Or you're all talk.
No, Holmes, I'm in training, eh? I told you, anytime I'm ready, eh? I don't drink no more. I'm training now,
here. What's okay? What's going on? Why are you here? What's going on? Talk to me. What's going on?
Holmes, I come in this show anytime I want, eh? Don't forget, I helped build this ship, eh? I take it down, Holmes. All right, and where's my nephew at, eh? Why is he never here, eh?
You're lucky Nancy's between them. Your nephew? What?
Where's my nephew, eh?
Your nephew.
Who's your nephew? Who's your nephew?
My nephew G-Funk, eh? Where's he?
You know, I don't know. He was on the chat earlier. So anda de vago. He knew you were coming, and he's like, you know what, deuces, I'm out.
Well, I tell you what, eh? I'm here to tell you guys who the baby nuts of the week is, eh? You guys ready, eh, or what?
Oh man, baby nuts of the week. Who's the baby nuts of the week? Talk to me. Who's the baby nuts of the week? These style boxing's the baby nuts of the week, right? Is that what you're gonna say? Go ahead.
Holmes, you and that chicken Mayweather are baby nuts forever, eh? Por vida. All right? For life, eh? Okay? But let me tell you who the baby nuts of this week is, eh? 2 years ago, eh? That punk Wilder made excuses, eh? He accused Fury of cheating. He accused the referee of cheating. He accused his trainer of drugging him, eh? He said aliens came down and took padding out of the gloves, eh? That's bullshit, baby. All right? Take your loss like a man, eh? And I'm going to tell you like this. Now he wants to go over into the jungle and South America and shit and take I don't know what he's going to do. LSD, drop ass? What's he going to do, eh? What is this, eh? What's this all about?
Well, I don't know about LSD. What's going on over here? What's going on? They're accusing a former heavyweight champion of the world of taking illegal substances. Is that what he's doing?
What's he doing down there, eh? He said, I want to do,
What do you think he is? You?
Eh?
I mean, like, what's going on? No, but so he's the baby nuts of the week. The fight was 2 years ago, though. He's just gonna automatically get it every year, or what?
Him and his fans, eh? All of them, because they don't want to admit that the man just got his ass kicked. That's what it is, eh? All right, be a man and take the loss, eh? Like my son Robert.
What if
when that punk Mayweather ran from us, eh? We didn't make excuses, eh? He ran like a chicken. All right.
I want to ask you this because I know they accuse Fury of having an egg weight in the glove, right? Did Mayweather have like illegal skates under his shoes like when he fought your son? Is that why he was kind of like moving around him so easily?
Oh, he's got those chicken legs, eh? All right, he used to run all around like a little chicken. You know, he didn't want to stand toe to toe.
They should have caught the weight. Remember Rocky? Remember what Mickey did with Rocky? Why didn't you have your son like chase chickens in training camp?
Because we don't fight chickens, eh? We fight like men. All right, it's not running.
And Nancy, like Rocky has the blueprint on how to fight guys that run around, right?
Charlie Holmes, I want to hear this nonsense, all right? He knows he would have stood toe to toe with my son. He would have lost, eh?
Dude, listen to me. Why did you chase chickens around your yard? Like that's what he should have done to prepare for Mayweather. You keep saying he ran like a chicken. What did you think he was going to stand toe to toe and trade with your son?
That's how men fight, eh? You know? That's how I fight you right now.
Hey, G Funky, pégale a tu tío. Like, you know what I mean? What's going on over here?
Whenever you're ready, eh? Whenever you're ready, eh?
You know what it is. And by the way, when's your son going to retire? By the way, is he retired already?
And that's another thing, eh? You guys want to praise that punk Amir Khan and Kell Brook? These guys fighting way past it, eh? And you didn't say nothing about my son when he came back and he beat that pretty boy Victor Ortiz, eh? Why didn't you say anything, eh? You're a hater, Holmes. You and all your homeboys, eh? He find you guys in the street, eh?
Hey, Nancy, did he beat Victor or Virgil?
You know, I'm still trying to understand why your son is still boxing right now. So
nobody wants to see your son no more. Your son hasn't been good in 10 years.
I want to hear that shit, eh?
10
all right.
years.
He just beat Ortiz.
Listen to me. No, but I will wait.
Your son hasn't been good in 10 years. Go ahead. Nancy.
I want to talk to Theo Mad Dog. So what I do want to see though is you versus Mr. Lopez, as in Teofimo's dad.
Oh, so, there we go.
So how do we make that fight happen? How do we,
I think Theo Sr. could take him right now, though. I'm just saying.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Anytime I'm ready.
You know
what? I told you, I'm ready anytime.
You tell that punk,
whoever he is, all right? I'm ready anytime, man. Look, I'm already. I'm on my toes,
Hey,
eh?
but Mad Dog,
I'm ready,
Mad
eh?
Dog.
I'm ready.
Hey, listen, hold
I'll
on.
be your
Have you seen the
cutman,
videos
Theo.
when he's
I'll be your
dancing with
cutman.
his son? Like they're in the gym. Like, have you seen the moves? I know you're ready for those moves. I just don't. You're a little stiff to me. I don't know if you got those moves. I don't know if you're that smooth, a smooth operator in the ring, like Teofimo Senior. I'm just saying. I'm just putting that out there right now. You know what I mean?
No,
You
I don't
that
know.
punk
No,
anytime,
you know what?
eh?
I'm actually on Theo Mad Dog's corner on this one. I really think. I mean, look at that mustache. You're gonna tell me.
He's
You're
gonna
gonna
knock it
tell
out of
me
his
that
face.
Teofimo's dad has like a fighting chance against that? Come on.
The mustache gonna absorb the jabs. That's what happens. It's gonna
Come
absorb.
on, yes.
That's right, eh?
I
And
mean,
don't forget, eh? You got baby nuts for life, eh? You and that punk Mayweather, okay? Anytime I'm ready,
But why
eh?
am I in the same boat as Mayweather? What's going on over here? Like, why am I with Mayweather? What I do?
You always want to bring him up, eh? Oh, he did this to your son. Oh, he did that to your son.
Well,
Let
he
me tell
did
you something,
outbox
eh?
your son.
Stand and fight like a man next time, eh? And we'll show you everyone, show the whole world what's gonna happen, eh? I'm out of here, eh? You tell
All right,
G-Funk,
get out of here.
get his ass back on the show,
Here.
all right? I'm out of here, eh?
Ya se va. Get out.
you need to tell
This is the first time
G-Funky to stop giving his Theo the link.
Hey, but this is the first time he's like escorted himself out. Like I usually have to kick him out. You know what I mean? So we're making progress. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
I mean, get your Theo G-Funky. I don't know. Little unstable there.
Ven agarrate, tío. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. But with that said, so back to your point, Nancy, about Tim Tszyu. Did you have any final thoughts about that?
Ya ves, ya hasta se me olvidó lo que iba a decir. So here I wanted to I made note because I wanted to mention this and bring this up and get your perspective because and actually you see that Theo made me lose my place here. So let's assuming Castano recovers, then if the fight's rescheduled, we're already talking maybe May or June, right? It's possible. So one of the things I read is that when the fight is rescheduled and it wouldn't take place until at least May or June, it is possible, if not likely, that it will no longer be for all 4 belts. And here's why. That's because George Rose of No Limit Promotions, and that's the promoter for Tim. So, and of course, we know that Tim would be Castano's mandatory challenger.
Like Master P?
Like No Limit. Yeah, the soldier isn't there. I thought the same thing you did, and I said, okay, it doesn't say soldier, so it's just No Limit.
No Limits Promotions. Like, whoa.
I know. I thought the same thing. So he raised objections and he did this in writing. He sent it out, I think it was last Wednesday to the WBO. And, that's the belt that Castano has about Tim having to wait again for his title shot while Charlo and Castano, the rematch is rescheduled. So according to, again, sources say when the rematch was first put together, the sanctioning bodies agreed to stand down and allow it to take place without ordering any mandatory defenses. With a delay, all bets are off. So it's just going to be interesting to see what actually does and can shake out, after all of this is said and done. But I do want to see Tim. I don't know that I want to see him against Charlo, but I think that if that happens, I do favor Tim. I mean, I'm excited about him making a debut here in the States. I would love for that to be here in Texas. And I think, I wouldn't be mad at that fight. I don't know. What do you think?
I wouldn't be mad at that fight either, but it's not going to happen. But he's going to be on the undercard. I hope anyway. I don't know if he's still going to be because they changed the date. You know what I mean? Shout out to G-Funk. He just showed up. You know what I mean? Like G-Funk just shows up. Like he didn't get his Theo. I don't know what's going on. Your Theo's running amok, brother. I'm just putting that. I know. Okay. Shout out to Theo Rubin, by the way. Here's what I'll say. I hope Tim Tszyu gets a shot soon.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, what we're going to talk about next might get in the way of Tim Tszyu getting a shot. But I will say this, though. I mean, there could be so many opportunities for Crawford if he moves up, right? but we'll see. So H Money talked about it. He's like, look, I want him to stick around, fight Spence Uga's winner, right? And so do I. But I wouldn't be mad. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't be mad at Crawford moving up to 154 and fighting the winner of Jermell Charlo versus Castano for undisputed at 154. If he moves up another weight class and wins that fight, he will be a two-time, two-division, undisputed champion. And no one in the modern era has done that.
And those are the moves. And again, those are the moves that just fighters need to make. You just got to do what it takes to make it happen. Do what it takes to make things happen, moving up or down, doing a gut check and taking less in some cases to get what you need, in that toolbox that's going to get you that 2 steps forward fight. We just need more of that to happen. And this is the year for boxers to do that.
But what about this? You know what beats that? Just try to imagine this. Ugas fights Spence, and then Crawford fights the winner. Crawford beats the winner, and now he's a 2-division. He's 140 and 147 undisputed champion, right? Something no one's ever done. And then by then we'll have an undisputed at 154. And then imagine if Crawford moves up.
Yep.
And he becomes undisputed, not 1, not 2, but 3 weight classes.
Yep.
It's not that it's only 2 fights away from that.
Why not?
I mean, and if anyone has the talent and the ability to do it, it's Crawford. Right?
That's what. Why not? Why not? And yeah, you're right. If anybody, it's
because
Crawford.
we both know he beat Spence, right, Nancy? That we both know.
I don't know. I think that's another show.
I'm just throwing that out. Everybody, give me that like. Give me to that 50. You know what I mean? Everybody, hit the like button. I am looking forward personally to like if this happens. I'm just not going to be mad at it. If Crawford moves up and gets a fight with Castano or with Jermell, right, for undisputed, and then like maybe Tim has to wait, but Tim is young, right? Tim has time, and then imagine a Crawford Tim Zoo fight right after that. I mean, it doesn't get any easier for him if he moves up, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so I know. So you're coming on, he's young and he's starting, but at the same time, we just know how critical, some of these moves can be in a career. I mean, just, look at the moves that let me think of, like Bam. He's young, early in his career, but just the significance of a big move, early in the career, what that means and what it can do to someone. So, I agree with you, but at the same time, I just feel like don't just stand at the sidelines, definitely. And good for his promoter, for speaking up and doing everything possible, for Tim to ensure that he's getting like the best, that he's not getting a short end of the deal. And you're right, he's young. Si no pasa, no pasa, he's fine, right? And he can still take on either winner, and he'll be good because he's a great fighter. He's a great fighter. But I wouldn't want him on the sideline for too long.
I mean, all I'm saying is this is an option for him, and if I'm Crawford, I start negotiating with the winner of this fight. That's just what I do, and then I let Spence know. Let's say Spence beats Ugas or vice versa. Like, yo, I also have this option. So what do you guys want to do? You know what I mean? And guess what? He's a WBO champion. You move up, you become mandatory WBO. So he's got some leverage there. You know what I mean? But another one that he could do in the meantime is a Josh Taylor fight. Like, just imagine, like, he fights Josh Taylor, then the winner of Ugas Spence, and then the winner of Jermell versus, Castano. That would be a hell of a run for Crawford. And I don't know if he comes out without an L right there, but you never know, right? So shout out to him, that is that, So one more topic, Nancy. Whyte versus Fury. Whyte signed on the dotted line. You know what I mean? He's signed right there.
Yep. That was the good for me. I think I'm glad it's happening. It's official. They confirmed it wasn't Twitter chisme. So that's good, and good for Whyte. And you're the one that shared earlier, right, about the record-setting purse.
Yeah, it was
man, I'm not mad at
person.
none of that. I'm not mad at none of that. Listen, you know,
I'm just baffled by it. That's all.
it's baffling. It can be baffling. I mean, I don't know that I know the number, but I mean, it can be baffling. It's record breaking,
like
and then for
42
this
million
fight,
or 41 million, something like that.
But you know, in terms of this fight, I of course would lean towards Fury, not saying or taking away from Whyte. I think that he, of course, is. I really do think that he's earned this. That's why I'm not mad at it.
What do you think Whyte's chances are against Fury, though? Like, do you like?
It'll be a good fight.
He has a chance. You think he has a shot for real?
I don't know.
You want to call an upset?
No, I don't know. Again, because I keep thinking back to you and your your calls of, you know, just when we think someone's got it in the bag, then you have the, you know, the underdog come through.
I mean, I'm not picking an underdog in this one.
I think it'll be a good fight. I really think it's that's why I'm not mad at it. It's gonna be a good fight. You know, I would lean towards Fury, but it'll be good. I mean, the fans are winning here. You know, I haven't seen anybody too upset about, you know, this fight happening. If anything, people are happy. People are happy, and I also think, like I said, it's people that are happy that it's also Whyte, because I just felt like he was the bridesmaid a lot of times, and you know, just kind of the go-to guy cuando lo necesitaban, and you know, here's his shot, here's his payday.
A shout out to the chat, getting us at 50 likes. You know what I mean? Shout out to you guys, and I want to thank everybody that tuned in, everybody that joined us on the show. Nancy, what do you got? What do the girls got going on tomorrow?
So definitely join us tomorrow. So Women Crushing It Wednesday. If you are not subscribed, make sure that you're subscribed to In the Ring with Christine, and we're going to be on. We have some really great guests, and we're going to be breaking down a really great card that Christine and I both attended on Saturday here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Dallas specifically. So really great discussion, and I see a lot of the people on the chat that join us on Wednesdays as well. So thank you for that. And man, what a great show. This was awesome. This was great. There were a lot of great guests and a lot of great discussions. So thanks to the chat.
Absolutely. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. All right. I want to remind you next week, same time, same place, all that good stuff. This is D-Style Boxing, and with Nancy and all that good stuff, we're going to sign out of here. Peace out, everybody.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7.